Another commitment, Eric. Welcome to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, brought to you by InsideTexas.com. All things Texas football. Hey, the 2025 cycle added another one today. Calhoun, Georgia, four-star Emaree Winston chooses the Longhorns over Ohio State, Central Florida, and a number of other schools in that area. This is a nice get for Jeff Banks and the Texas staff. Winston's a guy that fits checks a lot of boxes, fits a lot of categories, loves how they utilize JT Sanders and how the program has been building. Eric, they haven't had a pledge since KJ Lacey in this 25 cycle back in the summertime. Winston decides to bring it back to fruition. It's 2025 now. Tell me, what do you think about this commitment?
Well, I'm excited they're taking another 2025. Maybe that says that they're going to be a little more aggressive in January, when they start getting junior days. Last year, there's quite a long lull with this patient and selective staff. Maybe they're going to be a little bit more aggressive and try to get some guys off the shelf, given the success that they've had this season. But I love what he brings to the table. Winston is extremely versatile. He's got big hands, very, very natural pass catcher. Sometimes you can't tell on video. You might see evidence of them double catching. When it gets to his hands, he snatches it. And, it's not a surprise that he's a very good rebounder on the hard court. He uses his body well. He's not the tallest guy, but he's got some width to him. He's got some power. He's got some nuance to him. You've mentioned Jatavian Sanders, recruiting him. That's got to play dividends right there. I mean, obviously, you've got the proof of concept. How many times did we see JT Sanders running wide open down the middle of the field? Obviously, Winston being a Georgia kid, he watched the Alabama game. JT was wide open all night long. And as much as Winston's going to do some of the dirty work, he's a good, versatile blocker, can move across the set to pick up defensive ends or get out in space and lead block. He wants the ball in his hands too. I think Sark's getting a player that's got some versatility to him, similar to Ben Sinnott at Kansas State. That guy was always leaking out in the wide open field and picking up a lot of free yardage. I think Winston's got the chance to give Sark that outlet as well.
In 2024, they only took one, Jordan Washington. So I think we knew that 2 was probably going to be the number in this cycle. And if Winston's the floor, that's a really nice, clean. That's like a laminate floor. Like, that's a really good little, standard there.
Are laminate floors good?
They are if you are on budget. If you're on a budget, they're outstanding, as a matter of fact. And so, first of all, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Cooper Laird Insurance Agency, Brent Wieprick, 24 years of insuring contractors in the state of Texas. From plumbers, roofers, electricians, etc., from Amarillo to Brownsville to El Paso to Beaumont, Brent Wieprick has been tremendous at Cooper Laird Insurance Agency. Be sure and give him a call, 979-877-5330. That's 979-877-5330. Insuring contractors in the state of Texas for 24 years. Brent Wieprick. Give him a shout. Give him a chance. Eric, This commitment transpired. I felt like it started in October when he reached out and he decided to make the Red River Shootout his first Texas experience. I thought, okay, this could go pretty well. And even though they lost in a really close game, he got to see how they played, how they rolled, how Jatavian Sanders was utilized, how things kind of transpired. In your opinion, you got to watch some of his tape. You saw the eval. What type of guy, what Winston's going to add to this offense? How does this help Texas cycle in the 2025 year, like in the class? How does this kind of boost that going forward?
Yeah, actually in the Red River Shootout, he probably saw the absence of Jatavian, how much it affected Texas, because remember, Jatavian was quite hobbled after getting rolled up on the week before. So he saw Texas offense with him and without him. He says that tight end is a very big part of the offensive scheme. Well, they've got 2 commits, and they went out of state. They went to the Southeast for both of them. That's probably a precursor of what we're going to see more of in the cycle. But like you said, he sets a very good floor for the position at tight end. Now I think you're going to see Jeff Banks really survey, take his time, be selective, and try to go find more of a unicorn, kind of a do-it-all receiving threat, NFL early round sort of guy, as opposed to Winston, who I think he does have some NFL upside. Don't get me wrong. Reminds me more of a Delaney Walker, who was drafted in the 5th or 6th round, played very well for the Niners and Titans as a versatile player, but maybe not a lead tight end. I think Jeff Banks is now going to look for that lead tight end. He's got some wind at his back with Texas winning. He's got some wind at his back with Jatavian Sanders developing so well. I think he's going to be selective and aim high. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out because he hasn't landed that super marquee guy like we've seen pretty much every other position land. Every other position coach has a 5-star. Jatavian kind of counts for Banks, even though he had to close it out from the previous staff. He hasn't really gone out and truly got his own elite player yet, but we'll see if that comes in this cycle.
And that's going to be a big thing because the last cycle, like we said, they took one with Jordan Washington, and he was also one of your developmental guy, another basketball guy. Honestly,
I love Jordan Washington. I think he's one of the most underrated guys. And you and I are probably going to have to do a show on most underrated guys in the class, and he would be one of them for sure. So I don't want to sell him short. But as far as those marquee guys that please and satiate the stargazers, Banks hasn't got one of those yet.
Right. The thing I love about these tight ends too is they play basketball. And I feel like that should be a prerequisite. If you're going to take a tight end at the college level, he needs to have some hooping skills. Emaree Winston's tape, if you ever get to check it out in basketball, he is actually an incredible ball handler and passer. And I wasn't expecting that at his size, but he's got the bear claw hands. You know that bear claw. In the donut shop, you got one donut in the morning. And I always chose the bear claw because it was the biggest. It may not have been the best, but it was the biggest. He's got those big hands. And I think that's also going to translate at the next level. 2025 class is off to a good start. It's a little slow, but they've been, starting plays of the long game in 2024 cycle. They're putting the wraps on potentially another top 5 class for 2024, which is going to be tremendous. And adding Winston today for 2025 is only going to add those expectations and add to that in the end. So for Inside Texas, I'm Justin Wells with my trusty partner, Eric Nalin. We sure do appreciate you. Please like and subscribe to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel. We're bringing you good stuff on a regular basis. Please come see us at InsideTexas.com for all your Texas football needs, and hook 'em.